Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is our advanced Bible study class, advanced Bible study night, 19th of September 2023. I'll be reading out of the book of Jeremiah tonight, and I'll read and then we'll discuss what I read, break it down. Okay, so with that being said, you can go to our YouTube channel, Prophets of Awakening. We have a bunch of videos there, and we have a lot of information within these videos, and they will connect dots for you and lead you into the truth of the Holy Scriptures. Those people that are searching for the truth. These videos will do you a lot of good. Okay, and if you like what you're hearing and receiving, I'm asking you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And for those that feel the need to support the channel, you can see our Cash App at the bottom of the screen. Only across the bottom of the screen. Okay. And for those that don't know, this is a non-Messianic channel. And by that I mean we deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. And Tanakh being the Old Testament, the so-called Book of Remembrance. And the Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses by the Lord of Hosts on the mountain to bring him up to par with all that was going on with Israel, and not only give them laws, statutes, and judgments to govern themselves by, and to stay in accordance with the Creator and with heaven. Okay, so with that being said, shalom and welcome to this channel, and welcome to our advanced Bible study. We're going to do our normal, which is a moment of silence. We're going to do a prayer, psalms. We got some current events. We got a little more than normal because there's a lot of stuff going on. And then we got some need to know information. And we're going to open it up for some Q&A questions and comments about anything or anybody that's on the line that, any research they done or anything they came across that wanted to bring it up and we can talk about it. And then we go into our topic, which is dealing with Jeremiah, book of Jeremiah, parts of Jeremiah. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to this moment of silence is for the Creator of all, Yahweh, and his right hand man, Lord of Hosts, that does his bidding for him. Okay. So with that being said, oh Lord, we're coming forward to you at this time. That you have given unto us for rest, and we thank you for your knowledge and for your understanding that you have given unto us up until this point. When we seek thy face, this day that you shower us with peace and enlightenment and a sense of togetherness. Oh Lord, we see that hand in the affairs of the world, and we know and understand that what you have spoken in the past will surely come to pass. Turn out thy face from us, but hearken unto our plea. Hearken, O Lord, and do. All praises unto you. Okay. So with that being said, we'll read the song. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna read Psalm 79. It's a prayer for destruction of the heathen enemies. It's a song of Asaph. In case you don't know who Asaph is David's right hand man, his lead musician. Okay. O God, the heathens are come into thy inheritance. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. The dead bodies of thy servants have they given to the meat unto the fowl of heaven, the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the field. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there was uh, none to bury them. We have become a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision, and them that are round about us. How long, Lord, wilt thou be angry forever? Shall thy jealousy burn like fire? Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not come called upon thy name. For they have devoured Jacob and laid waste his dwelling place. O remember not against us former iniquities. Let thy tender mercies speedily prevent us, for we are brought very low. Help us, O God of our salvation, for the glory of thy name, and deliver us, and purge away our sins for thy name's sake. Wrath, wherefore should the heathen say, where is their God? Let him be known among the heathen in our sight by the revenging of the blood of thy servants, which is shed. Let the sighting of the prisoners come before thee, according to the greatness of thy power. Preserve thou those that are appointed to die. The rendering unto our neighbors sevenfold unto their bosom the reproach, wherewith they have reproached thee, O Lord. So we thy people, as sheep of thy pasture, will give thee thanks forever. We shall show forth thy praise to all generations. So that was Psalm 73. Psalm 79, my bad. Psalm 9. And I'm going to break down a couple of verses. So it says in verse 1, O God, the heathens are coming to thy inheritance. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. So like I was saying before, when you see that word inheritance, it automatically eliminates Yahweh, because can't nobody get Yahweh nothing. Whoever this is they're dealing with received uh, received Jerusalem, because the inheritance he's talking about is the land. So you could go into that, you would understand that during the time of Pele and Joktan, uh, the earth was divided. And so what is he talking about? He's talking about this 70 angels. The earth was divided up by these 70 angels. So each one of these angels was given a part of the earth, and everything that's included in that geographical location. Just like the Lord of hosts did with Abraham. When he gave Abraham the land of Canaan, all those 7 nations and those giants went along with it. So who Asaph talking to right here is an angel he's talking to that is received. We're gonna go a little further with some more verses and we'll see it, but he's saying, your inheritance. So like I said, this land was given to this angel, just like the other 69 angels received land. Michael received Mount Zion. That's who dwell on mountain. Like I said, angels dwelling on these mountains. Whatever geographical location they received, they dwelled on a mountain in that region where they was at. That's why these giants and these people going up in these mountains, the high places, building these altars and stuff, because there's angels up in these mountains. When Moses left Egypt and ended up on Mount Horeb, the Bible tells you, we don't say Yahweh, it says when Moses got there was an angel lit on the bush in a flame of fire, not Yahweh. So anyway, we're going to keep going. Verse 2 says, as Asaph is telling them that the dead bodies of thy servants have they given. These heathens that came into his inheritance, killing people, right? The dead bodies of thy servants have they given to be meat into the fire of the heaven, the flesh of the saints, into the beast of the earth. So we see right here this word saint. Like I said, the saint is the dead person. Somebody got killed, come back alive. So we see in Daniel, the prophet said Daniel. The prophet said Daniel is at the end of the 4 beasts, at the feet and the toes. It's an image gonna hit that stone, gonna strike the image at the feet and bring the whole thing down. And then Daniel tell you the saints of the Most High gonna take the kingdom. So these Israelites, like I said, they're gonna resurrect. So we see right here these saints in verse 2 is Israelites. They're gonna resurrect, Ezekiel 37. Verse 3, their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. So notice right there, they said they killed these people all around Jerusalem. And notice in Ezekiel 37, it's an army resurrect. So like I said, at one time they had to live, and they was in Jerusalem. He resurrected them. So 4, we have become a reproach to our neighbors and a scorn and derision to them that are round about us. Then he go to question, how long, Lord, will thou be angry forever? Shall thy jealousy burn like fire? Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. So what name is he talking about? Go to Exodus right quick, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Exodus 23 says, Exodus 23, they on Mount Sinai, and Yahweh and these angels, 7 angels on Mount Sinai, and the Lord of hosts. They're getting ready to leave, right? I mean, they left Jerusalem. They're getting ready to leave from Mount Sinai. It says, 23 and 20, behold, it's the Lord of hosts, Yahweh talking. Behold, I sent an angel before thee, telling Moses this concerning the children of Israel, that it's an angel you're going to send. I will send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee to the place which I have prepared. Beware of him. Obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgression. And here go the punchline right here. For my name is in him. So Yahweh's name is in his angel. So that's why the angel is so persistent about his name right here. So, and the prophets and the Israelites knew that. So he says in verse 6, he says, pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, upon the kingdoms that have not known thy name. See that? Not Yahweh's name. His name was an angel. That Yahweh got his name in. See that? So he says, I'll read just one more verse. Oh, remember not against us former iniquities. Don't deal with our former sins, lest thy tender mercies speedily prevent us, for we are brought low. So what is the Lord of hosts' tender mercies? David. Remember David. If you want to give us a break, I just remember David. And then the break will be justified. So when you see that to tender mercies, David is his tender mercy. David is his tender mercies. Okay. Any comments, questions? Okay. We go to some current events. Like I say, you might want to tie your shoes up for this because this something's coming up out of this way. I've been screaming forever and a day. You know, it's like everything else. Okay.
The European Union is happy with the coups that are happening in West Africa. They are happy that there's instability. They're happy that the region is not doing well. They're happy that there's civil unrest. And they're happy that these economies will continue to be destabilized because it's very easy to take advantage of a destabilized place as opposed to take advantage of a place that systems are working. These are not my words. These are the words of a member of the European Parliament listening.
France, there's the 85% of the company that operates Niger's uranium industry is owned by France's Atomic Energy Commission and 2 other French companies. Only 15% is owned by the Niger government. Your Niger government is keeping the lights on in France, and 85% of the people of Niger have no electricity. And we think that's okay, and we want to restore that government. The people don't want the government that's been overthrown. They're supporting the military coup. And if the EU is going to get involved militarily or push their puppets, ECOWAS, to do it for them, because ECOWAS is just been driven by Nigeria and Senegal, who are two vassal states of our Western powers today, and so they're probably doing their bidding.
Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome to another episode of our conversations. My name is Adora Ganga. I am a business journalist by profession and a digital content creator. I love coming on here and having conversations with you guys about Black people that look like me and you, Africa, our empowerment, and how we can rise up and take our rightful place at the global stage. I was listening to a very interesting conversation. I was just following randomly the European Parliament and their sittings, and something very interesting came up. Very rarely do you hear and see Europeans speak in favor of Africans or even pretend like they care. And so it was very interesting for me to hear a member of the European Parliament not only speak about Africa, but speak out for Africa and condemn the European Union for everything that they continue to do. It's not a secret that the EU has gotten into very scrupulous deals with North Africa to ensure that immigrants do not cross over. They have every right to control immigration, but the nature in which they do it is very questionable. And also just the continuous insistence on dominance in West Africa is very worrying, because years and years, 50, 60, 70 years after this country's got independence, why are you so hell-bent on ensuring that they remain under your thumb? Why can't you allow for democracy to prevail? Why can't you allow them to pick you as their business partner, as of instead of twisting them into doing business with you? You know, why do you want to do business with people who you're hell-bent on giving unfair terms to do business with, you know? And so this member of parliament was talking about these things, that he was saying, even as we see coups right now, all you're doing is celebrating. You're happy that these places are falling apart, because when they fall apart is when you get to benefit. You know, take a country like Niger. 20% of its uranium goes to France. They're literally powering France. Yet over 80% of the country live in poverty. Over 80% of the country do not have access to electricity. In what world is that okay? In what world do you do business with somebody and that business is not beneficial to the owner of the business? Then why are they doing the business? And it's very important to remember that natural resources get exploited and they finish. And the moment you finish your resources and they haven't done much to you, now you're poor. Initially you're poor with resources, but now whoever has exploited you, finished them, and now you're a poor person with no resources, nothing to leverage, nothing to, you will languish in poverty. And those are the things that some of these European countries enjoy, because then they have absolute control over you, what you do, who you put in office, the laws you pass, because you become 100% dependent on their aid, which they give you when they please, how they please, with 1,000,001 conditionalities. So it was a breath of fresh air to hear this perspective. Listen to it.
And now the EU is trying to shift the borders of Europe north of the Mediterranean Sea to south of the Sahara Desert, but it's not going well. We've seen a number of coups now. They're all efforts to overthrow governments that were seen as being pro-Western. Governments that have failed to represent their own people, and impoverished people. We're looking at an incredibly rich area, but incredibly impoverished, and we're part of the problem. It's about time we start living with the reality. Today, France continues to exercise a massive influence over its former outposts through neo-colonialism. Macron spoke on Monday about respecting sovereignty of countries. But what about respecting the economic sovereignty of the countries in the ECOWAS group? They don't have economic sovereignty. The will of Washington and Paris dominate still when it comes to economics. They don't have real independence. France, there's the 85% of the company that operates Niger's uranium industry is owned by France's Atomic Energy Commission and two other French companies. Only 15% is owned by the Niger government. Niger uranium is keeping the lights on in France, and 85% of the people of Niger have no electricity. And we think that's okay, and we want to restore that government. The people don't want the government that's been overthrown. They're supporting the military coup. And if the EU is going to get involved militarily or push their puppets, ECOWAS, to do it for them, because ECOWAS is just being driven by Nigeria and Senegal, who are two vassal states of Western powers today, and so they won't be doing their bidding. Is this going to be another Libya? He's mad. Why don't we start respecting the interests and concerns of the people of this region instead of robbing them blind?
Well, there's nothing to add here. You let me know what you think. Do you agree with him? Have you seen this part?
Yeah. So we see if you pay attention, more and more whites, young Anglo-Saxon people are speaking out about all the stuff that has happened to us and that's going on now. And they just it's the Most High, like he said. It's him moving on the move. You can see the tide turning. Any comments on that video? Okay, so we see how that Nigeria has been kicking out all these. Video I watched today was not only are they kicking out French, Germans, and America, they're kicking out all Europeans. They're kicking them all out, right? And so you will see why France is so uptight about it, because check this out.
Prepare for a journey through the latest developments shaping the French economy. In today's video, we're unveiling a series of shocks that have sent shock waves across the financial world. We will also unveil how major French banks are making a daring...
Yeah, all this happening, it ain't even been a good month yet since they cut loose from France. They're not doing nothing with France, and already the economy collapsed.
Shifting their investments across the channel to Britain. But before we proceed any further, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Tech Revolution. And let's dive right in. As France gears up for its 2024 budget talks, a storm is brewing in the housing arena. Industry and political bigwigs are pointing fingers at President Emmanuel Macron, claiming he dropped the ball on his promise to crank up the construction of new buildings. The budget bill, slated for a late September unveiling, has the opposition clamoring for more affordable French real estate and an increase in council housing. But wait, there's more. In January 2023, the construction of new buildings hit the brakes, slowing down by 3.3%. Meanwhile, building permits took a nosedive, plummeting by a jaw-dropping 22%. According to the Fédération Française de Bâtiment, they're anticipating an overall 9% dip in construction compared to last year. And then in the land of déjà vu, we've got Véronique Bédague, the CEO of French real estate mogul Nexity, sounding like a broken record. She tried to warn the government, but it seems her warnings fell on deaf ear. It was a chronicle of a disaster foretold. She lamented, predicting that the economic and social repercussions are going to pack a punch. Globally, building costs and land prices have been on a roller coaster ride since the Russia-Ukraine conflict in February 2022. And as if that weren't enough, the never-ending disruptions in global supply chains post-COVID-19 have turned building materials into precious gems. Economist Pierre Madec dished out the verdict: it's a perfect storm of factors. But experts have uncovered a shocking truth. House prices across the EU have been staging a 40% high since 2015, while wages stuck in time like a broken clock. And just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, the mortgage rates are following the European Central Bank's interest rate escalator after nearly a decade of snoozing at almost zero rates. Bédague drops another bombshell, revealing a 45% drop in mortgage offers over the past year. Brace yourself, because this means fewer new homes and a scarcity of rentals. And in her own words, those most in need will be thrown out on the streets. Meanwhile, Renting is getting pricier and harder to find. Prices vary widely across the country. Demand dropped by 39.1% from late 2021 to mid-2022, per the Federation de Promoteurs Immobiliers. BNICI, the expert website, notes that housing supply in France dipped by 6% in Q2 2023 compared to last year, while rents climbed 2%. In certain areas like student towns, it's even more extreme. Paris saw a 26% drop in housing supply, and rent jumped by 10% to 1,495 euros. Rennes, a student hub, witnessed a 34% supply decrease and a 6% rent hike. Many blame Macron for not delivering on his 2017 housing supply shock promise to lower prices. Institute Montaigne's 2021 report highlighted fewer construction.
So when you look at that, all of a sudden the French economy and everything is not doing too well. Okay. Anybody have any comments on that? Anybody heard anything about that?
Shalom. I haven't heard anything about it, but it appears from what they're saying here is that they're standing their ground now. The Europeans have been taking advantage of them for many years. They came and took their people, made them slaves, and and just profited off of them. And now they're they're getting their just reward now. They were thinking that this was going to be a forever thing, and it's not.
Right. You could see, you would assume that it wasn't no really major, the stuff that was getting out of there, but we see that the effect they're having by them not having access to it anymore. Their whole existence is based off of what they're getting from. That's why they're so adamant about, controlling those countries, because their whole way of living and their whole reason why they live and exist in the way they do is they sucking everything out of these African countries. Okay, got another one right here.
Welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday to you. I hope that you have a beautiful week. Continue to prep, continue to stock up. Things are not looking great. This was an unintended video for right now, but I'm going to go ahead and post it up because this is what is happening. And when things are happening in other countries, we've seen it jump right over here to the United States and affects us all. We all saw what happened in March of 2020 when they told us we didn't have anything to worry about, and then a week later came back and said we're going to have to lock everything down till we figure it out. I pray that that is not what may take place, but it's kind of the same circumstances that started over in China and then jumped over here. So what is happening right now is, and I'm going to add clips in here so you can see it for yourself. What's happening now is a major lockdown. Schools are closed, banks are closed, restaurants are closed, government offices are closed. And when I tell you,
okay,
Optimum Internet gives you. And I hope that this does not trigger anyone. This intention of mine to share with you this type of stuff is not out of fear. Okay, because we do not live in fear over here. We live in preparedness. And I want all of you who watch me to prepare for the possibility that this could come here to our country. Whenever there is a virus, an outbreak, because that is what is happening in India right now, an outbreak. And the southern part of India is on lockdown. Okay, people are being screened and tracked if they came in contact with people with this Nipah virus. And for some reason, it always starts with the bats. Someone was exposed to the bats. In the lab, something got loose because of the bats. So people are tinkering with things. That's my opinion, okay? That's just my opinion. You can let me know what your opinion is down below. People are having to wear their mask again. I don't know if they ever stopped over there, but they have to wear their mask again. They're being punished if they do not. So y'all, please get stocked up, okay? We already know we got cold and flu season, right? We already know the FDA is thinking about taking those medications off the shelves because of the during and after. So lean on him, pray, plan, and prep. See you guys in the next video. Authorities in.
Okay. Any comments on that? Anybody heard anything about that?
Shalom. I've heard about it, that this massive virus is taking over there, and that they're actually punishing the people if they don't wear the mask. It
Right.
just seems like another coup that's getting ready to happen all over again.
Okay.
Shalom.
Let's see that. Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, well, here goes the big information I was talking about, that I've been screaming about, you know. And so here we go. This is reparation. It's coming from a whole different direction than what everybody think. Check it out.
Salute everyone. I'm your comrade, Ramsey Eunice. Please bear with me for a few minutes or so. I have an important message for you all. Some of you have been waiting to hear what's going on. As you may know, I'm here in Russia.
You're in Russia.
For some
Brother.
days now, I was invited by an organization called Leader, which was formed by the Wagner Group.
Wagner Group.
A private military company you see operating in Ukraine, as well as helping out people in Africa. They're meeting with government officials and other stakeholders. As you know, we're at war. This is our war room. It's my war room. I don't mean war talking about Ukrainian war. I'm talking about the war that we've been in with America for at least 400 years as black people. So we formed an alliance. I'm here because we have an alliance with Russia. And that's
With
the
the Russians.
Afro-descendant Russian alliance. So please pay attention to what I'm about to say and share it with others. Make this go viral like we're making everything else go viral. Because these instructions will help us escape the danger we've been in as black people in America and finally get justice. But it will also help us escape the danger that's coming to America, because our ignorance is going to get a lot of us and all of us killed. Our ignorance and lack of action. So this information is going to propel you to act. That's my prayer. I want to use Ukraine as an example, since that's the global focus is on Ukraine. That's where hundreds of billions of dollars your government in America is giving to the Ukrainians, and they're admitting that at least 70% of it is coming up missing or unaccounted for. But anyway, let's learn a lesson from Ukraine.
Okay.
Because watching Ukraine or understanding the Ukrainian lesson will actually help us get justice. Ukraine declared independence in 1990 from the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union, of course, they left. They didn't fight against their independence. They left because they respected the right of self-determination. So Ukraine wrote a simple I don't know, probably a few sentences long Declaration of Independence. That Declaration of Independence from Ukraine gives us our instructions that we should follow. It's a key for us. Let me read a little bit of it right quick. It says, in view of the mortal danger surrounding Ukraine in connection with the state coup in the USSR. Number one. Two, continuing the 1,000-year tradition of state development in Ukraine. And number three, proceeding from the right of a nation to self-determination. Let me stop there. First of all, in view of the mortal danger, they felt they were in danger because of some things that were happening by or with the government of the Soviet Union.
Come on.
So we're separating from you, declaring independence because we're in danger because of actions that's going on with the government. Black people. Everybody. We're in danger right now because of actions of the United States government, actions that they have done in the past. Okay. That's why all nations hate America. The majority of nations hate America, besides those who commit evil with them, like France. They're waiting for a chance to strike America. Now America has a proxy war going on in Ukraine against Russia. Something is coming to America. You are in danger. Bombs will be falling in America.
What are they going to do? They're going to go to war with Russia. That's what they're going to do. There will be a hot war between the United States and Russia in the next year.
Really?
Yes, of course. They want it anyway.
So we have to separate from that as a people. We have to let Russia, whoever know, look, we're not part of this. Just like the Ukrainians did. Look, we're not part and parcel of what's going on with the government of the Soviet Union. We declare independence from that so we can escape the danger that's coming to them. Then they said that we are continuing the 1,000-year tradition of national development. So look, we used to being free. But how many thousands of years, or tens of thousands, or maybe even millions of years have black people been free before white people disrupted us? American whites disrupted us, conquered us, enslaved us. So that's another reason we're declaring independence. We want to continue our tradition that was interrupted for 400 years.
Hebrews.
Then Ukraine said, the leadership of Ukraine said in 1991, I'm reading it right here, the Declaration of Independence. Proceeding from the right of a nation to self-determination. Let's stop. That's what we should have been doing, black people. Proceeding from our right of self-determination, meaning, as black people in America, we don't like the way things are going for us. We can always simply declare our independence. Have our own vote, referendum for independence. Not voting next year in 2024. We're saying no more in 2024. We can say, look, we want to be independent of this. We want to govern ourselves. You know, I know you don't know. I know you don't. You never heard of the right of self-determination. But it's called the right of self-determination. That's what Ukraine proceeded from in 1991. So look, we have a right to be independent. We're our own people. We're a different ethnic. And they don't have half the justification that we have as black people. We were once enjoying our self-determination. We were conquered and enslaved. They said, look, you are free. Okay, since we are free, we want to be our own nation again. That's what reparations is, by the way. So now we have a situation, just like Ukraine had back in 1991. We're in danger because of the actions of this government. We have to put ourselves, distinguish ourselves from the United States. We want to continue our thousands of years of tradition of being independent black people, kings of our own jungle, instead of being minorities inside somebody else's system. And we're proceeding from our right of self-determination that we never asserted. The number one right that all peoples around the world have asserted, including the founding fathers of the United States of America. They said, look, we're the ones over here. We have a right to govern ourselves. And they declared independence. Black people, we have the same right. Because they took our self-determination. They denied us our sovereign rights and self-government. So anytime we can stand up collectively and declare independence. This is the time to do that. Right now, this is the time to do it. Like I said, I'm in Russia. We are discussing various things with the government, various stakeholders. And
Be in Russia, discussing stuff with Russia.
Alliance, military and political alliance. But I'm here to represent the interests of Black people in America. One of the things that we have discussed also, not discussed, it's already an agreement. We have been upheld hundreds of billions of dollars of Russia to transact with, and the money can be used for our reparation.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not giving us hundreds of billions of dollars. They're allowing us to transact with hundreds of billions of dollars for petroleum and petroleum products. But of course, we don't have self-determination. As Americans, we can't transact. So that's another motivation for us to come together and benefit from the situation that's been given to us. But people that are slaves or colonized people that we are in America, we can't benefit from something from a nation that America is at war with. You understand? So collectively, we have to make a decision. Do we want to be free? Do we want to escape danger? Do we want justice? Do we want reparations? It's a collective decision that we have to make.
Come on.
So right now the instructions is we're voting for our own independence. So we're separating ourselves from that danger. How can you vote and at the same time put ourselves in a position where we are repairing ourselves militarily? We have an app called reparations.app. What's called reparations app? You can find it at reparations.app. Sign up for your reparations account. Once you register, that's your vote. That's your vote. It's a digital currency system. As you all know, most of you have heard about what's going on with BRICS and other nations in Africa and around the world dropping the U.S. currency. America's currency is almost finished. You better be in a position where we don't fall right along. So Black people, that's our instructions right now. I'll be given further information and instructions as we continue our meetings and strategy sessions and plans here in Russia. But for now, please go to reparations.app, sign up for your reparations account. That is your vote. If you want to get involved, we need everybody's hands on deck as possible. Please call 888-999-6530. You go to our website, register via Human Rights Policy Officer. That's at humanrightspolicy.us. This is something very critical, very critical. I wouldn't come over here in the hot seat of Russia for no reason unless I know it's worthwhile for our liberation, for our justice. So that's why I'm here. Brothers and sisters, comrades, please pay attention. Share this video with others. Let them know, look, no more in 2024. We're getting our justice right now. We're declaring our
Right now.
Right now. We're learning that we have a right of self-determination right now, and we are asserting that right. This is simple as that. Follow Ukraine. The 3-sentence long Declaration of Independence. It's not rocket science, brothers and sisters.
Okay. Anybody got any comments?
Shalom. Yes, I think you know, the separation that he's talking about, separating ourselves as a whole, it will take a lot for the westernized African American or even you know, if they don't want to consider themselves African American, to come to grips because they have relied so much on the Anglo-Saxon to be right in whatever they say, in whatever direction that they tend to deliver for our people. So I hear what he's saying, and it should have happened long, long time ago, especially after all of the, you know, prophesied torture that had come to us because of our banishment. But not but and and I think that if we were to pull together as the Israelite people, those who are Hebrew Israelites, and continue to enlighten ourselves and follow this prophecy that is there, that will not return void, um, we'll be fine. Um, every time the Anglo-Saxon comes up with something, you know, they always try to up it one, you know, like with the, even with the government system that they do, anytime someone black patents something, they go over that and try and take it away. You know, we invent something, they take that away, you know. So I'm I'm glad to hear that a lot of other Americans are being enlightened as to what these Anglo-Saxons, you know, agenda is. But I also caution and say that, you know, we have to follow what we know, and we have to continue to research this thing and not jump on any bandwagon. Um, because if you're not ready, you won't be ready when you get there. So.
Okay. Anybody else?
Shalom. Yes. My take on it, what I see is that being that we have been indoctrinated from the get-go, um, our ancestors, as they were here in the United States, about Christianity, and that's something that has to be broken away from it before, like we're breaking away from it. So they have to break away from it. More have to break away from that. If not, they're always going to try to find the good in that evil that's going on. That's just the way Christians are, want to make things uh, right. And that's what they've been taught. And being that they took that overseas and all these other little nations in bringing Christianity over so it can be um, a unit where people will say, well, they're Christians and they're Christians. Um, no, no one's a Hebrew, no one's this. And they try to get them to not think as a Hebrew or Israelite. So, and they also always adding JC into whatever. I've seen a lot of TikTok, a lot of YouTube when they start out saying Shalom everyone, and then they'll say JC, and they'll just go on and continue to go into the New Testament and talk about Revelations, and then back into the New Testament on John, Paul, and JC. And it's a breakaway. We have to break away from the thought of Christianity in order to get the eyes open to being a true Israelite Hebrew person.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, this you want to go back and listen to this video and check this guy channel out, because he didn't just get started. He didn't just pop up, you know. So I think that this Wagner group and the Russians, they handpicked him. So it's Ramzu, Ramzu. That's his first name. And his last name is Yunus. That's the channel. You just type that in the search block, it'll come up. That the video I just played plus other videos. Yeah. Okay.
Shalom, can you spell that again, sir?
It's RAMZU. MZU is his first name.
Yes, sir.
His last name is YUNUS.
Okay, thank you.
That's the name of the channel.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, like I said, it's no coincidence that we left in the middle of the night when they came and got us out of Egypt. It was, you know, so like he said, 2024, they expecting the whole world know it's gonna be something major going on militarily in 2024. And you know, if you're looking at it and paying attention, we can't be here. We can't be here. We gotta be gone. And it ain't gonna be everybody. It's the ones that have ears to hear, eyes to see. It's a remnant. And then the people that are ones that's so indoctrinated with the world, once they get that bitter pill and realize they was off, and start finding out what's really going on, then you'll see some of them. But it's a remnant that's gonna leave here, gonna get the message. They're gonna be in the right place at the right time and leave. Yep. So with that being said, I'm going to read out of the book. Yeah, I'll open it up for some questions, comments. Anybody have any questions or comments about anything? Over the weekend we dealt with on the Shabbat last week. We talk about. Everybody good on that?
This is not. I'm good on last week, but I saw a video on YouTube that was talking about the cartel and how they're ramping up because they're getting more and more weapons from United States, and that the United States is wanting to go over and try and take care of the cartel, but the cartel is larger, and they're more almost like the Iranians with their death. You know, they kill and they don't think twice about it. You know, so that's another thing that's ramping up for 2024 as well.
Right. Okay. Okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments about anything? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna read a couple chapters out of the book of Jeremiah. I'm in 31. Jeremiah 31. Okay. So okay. Okay, this is the restoration of Israel, the book of Jeremiah. So it says, at the same time, said the Lord, will I be the God of all families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Thus said the Lord, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest. So you see right here exactly what I just said, exactly what we see transpiring. It says, at the same time, said the Lord, will I be. This is Babylonian. Jeremiah prophesied about Nebuchadnezzar coming and about Israel doing the 70 years and coming back. So that's what the restoration right here is about, is them coming out of Babylon. So he says, at the same time, says the Lord, will I be the God of all the families of Israel, all 12 tribes, and they shall be my people. Thus says the Lord, the people which were left, that remnant, left of the sword. That's what the brother just told you. Sword coming. Everybody ain't gonna leave. So he says, thus says the Lord, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Israel, when I went to cause them to rest. So the Lord have appeared of old unto me, saying, yea, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness have I drawn thee. And again, I will build thee, and thou shalt be built. O Virgin of Israel, as a remnant. O Virgin of Israel, thou shalt again be adored with my tablets, and shall go forth into dances of them that make merry. Thou shalt yet plant vines upon the mountains of Samaria. The planters shall plant, and shall eat them as common things. For there shall be a day that the watchman upon Mount Ephraim shall cry, Arise ye, let us go up to Zion unto the Lord our God. For thus said the Lord, Sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publish ye, praise ye, say, O Lord, save thy people, the remnant of Israel. And behold, I will bring them from the north country, and gather them from the coast of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, and the women with the child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. They shall come with weeping and with supplication. Will I lead them, and I will cause them to walk by the rivers of water in the straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. Hear the word of the Lord, O ye nations, and declare ye the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him, and keep him, as a shepherd doeth his flock. For the Lord hath redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hands of him that was stronger than he. Therefore they shall come and sing in the heights of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of the Lord, for wheat, for wine, for oil, for young of the flock and of the herd, and their soul shall be as watered garden, and they shall not sorrow any more at all. Then shall the virgin rejoice and dance, both young man and old together. For I will turn their mourning into joy, and I will comfort them and make them rejoice from their sorrows. Right? So let me go back right quick. I want to shine light on something because it's going over a lot of people's head. So he says in verse 31, this is Jeremiah 31, and verse 11 says, it's the Lord talking. For the Lord have redeemed Jacob and ransomed him from the hands of him that was stronger than he. 12. Therefore they shall come. Here you go. They shall come, sing in the heights of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of the Lord of hosts, for wheat, for wine, for oil, and for young of the flock, and for the herd, and their souls shall be as watered gardens, and they shall not sorrow any more at all. So go back to, he says he's gonna, like I said, we don't have no herds and flocks right now. But when we go back, we're gonna have flocks and herds, just like our forefathers did. So he says in verse 12, therefore they shall come and sing in the heights of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of the Lord, for wheat and for wine and for oil. This is the point I want to make. And for the young of the flock of the herd. So what is he talking about? So this killed JC too, because it said he was the ultimate sacrifice. So you don't have to sacrifice no more. So you go to Genesis 18. Like I said, 3 angels came, right? 3 angels came. You know it's angels. All 3 of them angels. It's not Yahweh, 1 of them, and 2 of them is angels. They all 3 angels. So let's look at it. And it says, and the Lord appeared to Abraham, right? Appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked. Lo, 3 men, these 3 angels, stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran, check it out, he ran to meet them from the tent door. He rejoicing. He ran to meet them at the tent door, bowed himself toward the ground because he already met him before, back in Genesis 12. Let's look at it. He's doing all this because he already met him in 12. Let's look at it. Genesis 12, verse 1. Now the Lord, Lord of hosts, has said unto Abraham, get thee out of thy kindred and from thy the kindred and from thy father's house unto the land that I will show thee. And then you go to verse 6. And Abraham passed through the land into the place of Shechem, into the plains of Moreh, and the Canaanites was then in the land. And the Lord appeared unto, see that? The Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land, and they'll build it out here an altar unto the Lord who appeared unto him. So he already seen it before. So now we're back in chapter 18. And that's why he's doing all this. Verse 2. And he lifted up his eye. Abraham lifted up his eye, looked, lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them by the tent door, bowed himself toward the ground, and said, my Lord. He already met him in verse chapter 12. So he knew it, who he was. He went right to him. It's 3 of them, but he went to the Lord and bowed down. He says, and said, my Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little, check it out, let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree, right? Then here we go. So this angel, Lord of hosts, right? The Most High is using him. He's the one that's just they out there dealing with. He's the one providing the sheep, the flocks, the abundance. He's the one caused the Pharaoh to Amalek to give Abraham herds and flocks and man servants and maid servants. So he says, 5, and I will fetch a morsel of bread and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on, therefore ye come to your servant. And they said, do as thou hast said. Here we go right here. 6, Abraham hastened into the tent under Sarah, right, to his wife. And he said, make ready quickly 3 morsels of fine meal and knead it, and make cakes upon me. So he told Sarah to do that, right? He told Sarah, make cakes, right? Now, verse 7, Abraham ran to the herd, fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto his young man, and he hastened to dress it. So this young man, he sent one of his servants. He ran to the herd to get a calf. See that? A young calf, tender and good from the flock, right? So go back over here. 31 and 12. Therefore shall they come when they come back from, when we go back and when they came back from Babylon. Therefore they shall come and sing in the heights of Zion, shall flow together to the goodness of the Lord, for wheat, for wine, for oil. Here you go, and for the young of the flock, a calf. Ain't no different than what Abraham did. What I'm trying to show you. Well, if you come over here in America, we can't run to the herd, get no calf, because we ain't got no damn herds. So we see right here how they tricked this off. Okay, see that? It says they can say, for the young of the flock, that's a calf, and of the herd, and their soul shall be as, same thing what Abraham did, and rejoice, water as a watered garden, and they shall not sorrow anymore at all. Same thing that happened with Abraham is what's going to happen when we go back. We're going to pick right back up with our law, statutes, and our culture, flocks and herds and all that. So he says, 13, then shall the virgin rejoice and dance, both young men and old together, for I will turn their mourning into joy, and I will comfort them and make them rejoice from their sorrows, and I will saturate the soul of the priest with fatness, and my people shall be satisfied with my goodness, says the Lord. Thus shall, says the Lord, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentations, bitter weeping, Rachel weeping for her children, and refused to be comforted for her children, because they were not. Thus says the Lord, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thine eyes from tears, for the work of for thy work shall be rewarded, said the Lord. And they shall come again on the land of the enemy. And there is hope in thine end, says the Lord, that thy children shall come again on their own border. I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself. Thus thou hast chastened me, and I was chastised as a bullock unaccustomed to the yoke. Turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art the Lord my God. Surely after that I was turned, I repented. After that I was instructed. I smote upon my thigh, and I was ashamed, yea, even confounded, because I did bear the reproach of my youth. Is Ephraim my dear son? Is he a pleasant child? For since I spake against him, I do honestly remember him still. Therefore my bowels are troubled for him. I will surely have mercy upon him, said the Lord. Set thee up waymarkers, and make thy high heaps, and set thy heart toward the highway, even the way which thou wentest. Turn again, O Virgin of Israel, turn again to these thy cities. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backslidden daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. The woman shall compass a man. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. As yet they shall use the speech in the land of Judah and in the cities thereof, when I shall bring again the captivity. The Lord bless thee, O habitation of justice, and the mountain of holiness, and there shall dwell in Judah itself, and in all the cities thereof together, husbandmen, and they that go forth with flocks. For I have saturated the weary soul, and I have replenished every sorrowful soul. Upon this I awakened, and beheld, and my sleep was sweet upon me. And behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. And it shall come to pass that, like as I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, says the Lord. In those days they shall say no more, the father hath eaten the sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. But every one shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge. And behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husbandman unto them, says the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with them, with the house of Israel, after those days, says the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, or any man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them even to the greatest of them, said the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sins no more. Thus said the Lord, which gives the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon, and the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea, and the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, said the Lord, then shall the seed of Israel also cease, but be a nation before me forever. Thus said the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the fountains of the earth stretched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, says the Lord. Behold, the days come, says the Lord, that the city shall be built to the Lord, from the tower of Hanau unto the gate of the corner, and the measuring line shall yet go forth over against it upon the hill of Gareb, and shall compass about Gal, and the whole valley of the dead bodies and the ashes, and all the fields unto the brook of Kidron, unto the corner of the horse gate. Okay, excuse me. Corner of the horse gate toward the east shall be holy unto the Lord. It shall not be plucked up nor thrown down anymore forever. Okay, so that was Jeremiah 31. Anybody have any comments? Okay, everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
yeah, I'm gonna read one more chapter, 32, and I'll close out. Okay, it says, Jeremiah buys the field of Antioch. The words that came to Jeremiah from the Lord in the 10th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, which was the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar. For then the king of Babylon army besieged Jerusalem, and Jeremiah the prophet was shut up in the court prison, which was in the king's house. And Zedekiah, king of Judah, had shut him up, saying, Wherefore doest thou prophesy and say, Thus says the Lord, Behold, I will give this city into the hands of the king of Babylon, and he shall take it. And Zedekiah, king of Judah, shall not escape out of the hands of the Chaldeans, but shall surely be delivered into the hands of the king of Babylon, and shall speak with him mouth to mouth, and his eyes shall behold his eyes. And he shall lead Zedekiah to Babylon, and there shall he be until I visit him, says the Lord. Though ye fight with the Chaldeans, ye shall not prosper. And Jeremiah said, The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Behold, Hananiah, the son of Shallum, thine uncle, shall come unto thee, saying, Buy thee my field that is in Antioch, for the right of the redemption of is thine to buy it. So Hananiah, mine uncle, son, came to me in the court of the prison, according to the word of the Lord, and said unto me, Buy my field, I pray thee, that is in Antioch, which is in the country of Benjamin, for the right of the inheritance is thine, and the redemption is thine. Buy it for thyself. Then I knew that this was the word of the Lord, and I bought the field of Hananiah, my uncle's son, that was in Antioch, and weighed to him the money, even 17 shekels of silver. And I subscribed the evidence and sealed it, and took witnesses, and weighed him the money in the balances. So I took the evidence of the purchase, both that which was sealed according to the law and the custom, that which was open. And I gave the evidence of the purchase unto Barak, the son of Nero, the son of Mesa, in the sight of Hananiah, my uncle's son, and in the presence of the witnesses that subscribed the book of the purchase, before all the Jews that sat in the court of the prison. And I charged Barak before them, saying, Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, take this evidence of the purchase, both which is sealed and this evidence which is open, and put them in an earthen vessel, that they may continue many days. For thus says the Lord of hosts, for the God of Israel, houses and fields and vineyards shall be possessed again in this land. And now when I had delivered the evidence of the purchase unto Barak the son of Nero, I prayed unto the Lord, saying, Lord God, behold, thou hast moved in the earth by thy great power, and I stretched thy arm. There is nothing too hard for thee. Thou showed loving kindness unto thousands, and recompense the iniquity of the father into the bosom of the children after them. The mighty God, the Lord of hosts is his name, great in counsel, mighty in works, for thy eyes are open upon all the ways of the sons of men, to give every one according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings, which has set signs and wonders in the land of Egypt, even unto this day, and in Israel, and among the other men, and has made thee a name as this day, and has brought forth thy people Israel out of the land of Egypt, with signs and with wonders, and with a strong hand, and with a stretched out arm, with great power, great terror, and has given them this land which thou didst swear to their fathers, to give them a land flowing with milk and honey. They came in, possessed it, but they obeyed not thy voice, neither walked in thy law. They have done nothing of all that thou commanded them to do. Therefore thou hast caused all this evil to come upon them. And behold, the mounts, they are come up into the city to take it, and the city is given into the hands of the Chaldeans that fight against it because of the sword, of the famine, the pestilence, and what thou hast spoken is come to pass. And behold, thou seest it, and thou hast said unto me, O Lord God, buy thee the field for money, and take witnesses, for the city is given into the hands of the Chaldeans. Okay. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah, saying, Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? Therefore, thus says the Lord, Behold, I will give this city into the hands of the Chaldeans, and into the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and he shall take it. And the Chaldeans that fight against this city shall come and set fire on this city, and burn it with the houses upon those roofs. And they have offered incense unto Baal, and poured out drink offerings unto other gods that to provoke me to anger. For the children of Israel, children of Judah have only done evil before me from their youth, and from the children of Israel have only provoked me to anger with the works of their hands, says the Lord. For this city have been to me as a provocation of my anger and of my fury from the day that they built it, even unto this day, that I should remove it from before my face. Because of all the evil of the children of Israel and of the children of Judah, which they have done to provoke me to anger, they, their kings, their princes, their priests, their prophets, the men of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and they turned unto me the back and not the face, though I taught them, rising early, teaching them, yet they have not a heart to receive instructions, but they set their abominations in the house which is called by my name, to defile it, and they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valleys of the sons of Hinnom, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire unto Moloch, which I commanded them not, neither came it into my mind that they should do this my abomination, to cause Judah to sin. And now therefore thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, concerning this city, wherefore ye say, it shall be delivered into the hands of the king of Babylon by the sword and the famine and by pestilence. Behold, I will gather them out of all the countries whither I have driven them in mine anger and in my fury and in my great wrath, and I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely, and they shall be my people. I will be their God, and I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and their children after them. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. Yea, I will rejoice over them to do them good, and I will plant them in this land assuredly with my whole heart and my whole soul. For thus saith the Lord, like I have brought all this great evil upon the people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised, and the fields may be brought in this land, whereof ye say, it is desolate and without man or beast. It is given unto the hands of the Chaldeans. Men shall buy fields for money and subscribe evidences and seal them and take witnesses in the land of Benjamin and in the places about Jerusalem and in the cities of Judah and in the cities of the mountains and in the cities of the valley and in the cities of the south. For I will cause their captivity to return, says the Lord. So that was Jeremiah chapter 30. Okay. So like I said before, we can see it's a process. Every time they go into captivity, you know, His anger turned against them. He sent them into captivity. Then he comes and remembers David, remembers Jacob and Abraham, Isaac, and he bring them back. And so we in the midst of that process right now. We were driven out, scattered all over the world, and now we see his hand, the spirit at work, bringing about everything that he said he's doing. Okay. So with that, anybody have any comments?
Shalom. I'd like to go back and recant what I said earlier when the young man was talking. So Jeremiah just confirms all of that, and just like you just said, whenever we're in captivity and things are going on, he always brings us out. Thank you so much. Shalom.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, yeah. So this like I said, this is our Tuesday night Israelite Advanced Bible Study. So if you come across this information, you know that we meet every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Central Time, for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours or so, and just mix current events with prophecy and read some scriptures and connect some dots, and then close out. So like I said, every Tuesday night, Israelites meet prophets of awakening, and it's for a couple of hours. So start at 8 o'clock Central Time. So with that being said, we want to say shalom, everybody. See y'all tomorrow for our reading through Tanakh.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom,
Shalom.
everyone, and thank you.
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right.
Shalom, everyone.